Listen up, warriors of power. You think you're in control? You think you're the one calling the shots? Think again. Welcome to the Power Playbook, where we rip apart the weak and forge the unbreakable. Today, we're diving into Law 8 of the 48 Laws of Power. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. This isn't a suggestion, it's a command. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't grovel. You make them crawl to you, desperate, hungry, ready to serve your every demand. I'm here to burn this law into your soul, to make you the predator who never hunts but always feasts. Strap in, this is going to hit hard, and I won't stop until you're a master of this ruthless game. Let's get one thing straight. Law 8 isn't for the weak, the timid, or the ones who think power comes from running after others like a pathetic dog chasing scraps. No, Law 8 is for the lions, the conquerors, the ones who sit on their throne and make the world bow at their feet. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Hear that? You're not the one moving. You're not the one sweating. You're the one who sets the trap, pulls the strings, and watches as everyone else scrambles to your doorstep, begging for a piece of what you got. This law is about flipping the game, turning the hunter into the hunted, the seeker into the sought. And I'm going to drill this into you until you live it, breathe it, and dominate with it. What does this law mean at its core? It's about control, plain and simple. When you chase after someone, whether it's for a deal, a favor, a relationship, or a shred of attention, you give them the power. You're the one on your knees, panting, pleading, exposing your desperation like a wounded animal waiting to be devoured. That's weakness. That's surrender. Law 8 smashes that mindset to pieces. You don't go to them. They come to you. You make them move. You make them sweat. You make them beg. Why? Because the one who moves first loses. The one who needs the most loses. And you're not here to lose. You're here to dominate. Let's break this down piece by piece because I'm not letting you off easy. First, understand the psychology behind this. People are drawn to what's scarce, what's mysterious, what's just out of reach. If you're always available, always running to them, always knocking on their door, you're cheap. You're disposable. You're nothing. But when you make them come to you, you become the prize. You become the enigma, the untouchable force they can't resist. They start to wonder, why isn't this person chasing me? What do they have that I don't? What am I missing? That curiosity, that hunger, it's your weapon. You plant the seed of desire in their mind, and you watch it grow until they're clawing at your gates, desperate to get in. How do you make this happen? That's where the second part of the law comes in. Use bait if necessary. Bait, you hear that? You're not just sitting there waiting like a fool. You're setting a trap, luring them in, making them think they're the ones in control while you pull every string. Bait can be anything, and I mean anything. It's the promise of something they want, something they can't resist. Maybe it's the hint of an opportunity. Dangle a deal, a connection, a reward just out of their grasp. Maybe it's your reputation. Let whispers of your power, your success, your untouchable aura spread like wildfire until they can't help but seek you out. Or maybe it's a challenge. Make them feel like they need to prove themselves to you, like they're the ones who have to earn your attention. Whatever it is, you craft it, you control it, and you use it to reel them in. Let's talk strategy, because I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm here to give you weapons. First, you need to position yourself as the center of gravity. You're the sun, and everyone else is just a planet orbiting around you. How do you do that? You build your value. You make yourself so undeniable, so magnetic, that people can't ignore you. Maybe you cultivate a skill that no one else has. Become the best at what you do, the one they have to go to for answers. Maybe you create an image, project confidence, mystery, authority, so they're drawn to you like moths to a flame. Or maybe you control something they need, resources, knowledge, access, and you make it clear they'll only get it if they come to you. You don't hand it out like candy. You make them work for it. You make them crawl. Next, let's talk about the bait itself. This isn't about being nice or generous. This is about manipulation, pure and simple. You need to know what drives people, what makes them tick, what keeps them up at night. Is it greed? Dangle the promise of wealth, but keep it just out of reach until they're on their knees. Is it ego? Stroke their pride. Make them think they'll be the one to conquer you, to win your approval, but set the game so they have to come to you to play. Is it fear? Create a sense of scarcity. Make them think they'll miss out if they don't act fast, if they don't seek you out. You're the one who sets the terms, the one who controls the narrative. You're the spider, and they're the fly. Once they're in your web, they're yours. But let's not stop there, because I'm here to make sure you dominate this law from every angle. You need to understand the power of distance. Distance. You don't make yourself too available, too approachable, too easy. That's for the weak, the ones who get stepped on. You create space, you create separation, you make them feel the void of not having you. When you're always there, always answering their calls, always showing up, you're nothing special. But when you pull back, when you make them wonder where you are, what you're doing, why you're not chasing them, they start to panic. They start to need you. They start to come to you. That's power. That's control. That's Law 8 in its rawest form. Now let's talk about the mindset you need to pull this off, because this isn't just about tactics. It's about who you are. You need to embody this law, to live it in your bones. You can't be desperate. You can't be needy. You can't be the one who's always reaching out, always trying to prove yourself. That's the mindset of a loser. And you're not a loser. You're a conqueror. You need to cultivate an ironclad belief in your own value. You need to know deep in your core that you're the one they should be chasing, that you're the one worth seeking out. When you believe that, when you radiate that, people feel it. They sense it. They'll come to you without you lifting a finger, because they'll know you're the one who holds the keys to what they want. Let's dig deeper, because I'm not letting you off with just the basics. You need to understand the dynamics of power in every interaction, every single one. When you're negotiating, when you're building alliances, when you're climbing the ladder, Law 8 is your weapon. Take a negotiation, for example. You don't go to them begging for a deal. You make them come to you. How? You set the stage. You let them know you've got something they want. Maybe it's a product, a partnership, a piece of knowledge, but you don't hand it over. You make them feel the pressure, the urgency, the need to seek you out. You might drop a hint, plant a seed, let them hear through the grapevine that you're the one they need to talk to. And then you wait. You let them sweat. You let them make the first move, because the one who moves first shows their hand, and you're not here to show your hand. You're here to win. Let's talk about relationships, because this law isn't just for business. It's for every part of your life. You don't chase after people, whether it's a friend, a partner, or a rival. You make them come to you. You don't text first, call first, beg for their time. You set the bait. You show them a glimpse of what they're missing, a taste of your worth, and then you pull back. You let them feel the absence, the hunger, the need to be in your orbit. Maybe you show confidence, charm, or a hint of mystery that makes them curious. Maybe you let them see your success, your power, your untouchable aura, and then you disappear, leaving them wondering. They'll come running, because people always want what they can't have, and you're going to make sure they can't have you until you decide they can. Now, let's talk about the long game, because Law 8 isn't just about quick wins. It's about building a legacy of power. You need to create a system where people are always coming to you, where you're always the one in demand. How do you do that? You build a reputation that precedes you. You make yourself the one everyone talks about, the one everyone needs, the one everyone fears missing out on. Maybe you become the expert in your field, the one they have to consult. Maybe you control the resources, the connections, the opportunities that everyone craves. Maybe you cultivate an aura of mystery, of unpredictability, so they're always guessing, always wanting more. Whatever it is, you make sure the world knows. If they want to win, they have to come to you. You're not the one knocking on doors. You're the one they're lining up to see. But let's not stop there, because I'm here to make sure you're unstoppable. You need to understand the risks of not following this law, because ignorance will destroy you. If you're always the one chasing, always the one seeking, you're handing over your power on a silver platter. You're telling the world you're weak, you're desperate, you're nothing. People will smell that weakness from a mile away, and they'll exploit it. They'll make you jump through hoops. They'll make you beg. They'll make you bleed for every scrap of attention they give you. That's not power. That's slavery. Law 8 flips that script. You don't chase. You make them chase. You don't seek. You make them seek. You don't bow. You make them bow. That's the difference between a pawn and a king. And you're here to be a king. Let's talk about the art of bait again, because I want to make sure you've got this locked in. Bait isn't just a one-size-fits-all trick. It's a weapon you customize for every target. You need to know who you're dealing with, what they want, what drives them. If they're ambitious, bait them with the promise of glory, but make them come to you to get it. If they're insecure, bait them with validation, but make them seek your approval. If they're greedy, bait them with wealth, but make them crawl to your table for a taste. You're the one who sets the trap, the one who controls the game. You're the puppet master, and they're the puppets, dancing on your strings, thinking they're the ones in control while you hold all the power. Now, let's talk about the mindset again. Because I'm not done hammering this into you. You need to be ruthless. Ruthless. You can't be soft. You can't be sentimental. You can't be the one who's always giving in. That's for the weak, the ones who get trampled in the game of power. You need to be cold, calculating, unyielding. You need to know that you're the one who deserves to be sought, the one who deserves to be chased, the one who deserves to win. When you embody that, when you live that, people feel it. They sense it. They'll come to you because they'll know you're the one who holds the keys to their desires, the one who can make or break them. That's power. That's Law 8. That's domination. Let's go deeper, because I'm not letting you off until you're a master of this. You need to understand the dynamics of every situation you're in. Whether you're in a boardroom, a battlefield, or a social circle, Law 8 is your weapon. Take a boardroom, for example. You don't go to the CEO begging for a promotion. You make the CEO come to you. How? You set the bait. You let them hear whispers of your results, your value, your irreplaceable skills. You let them see that you're the one they can't afford to lose. And then you pull back. You let them feel the pressure, the fear of missing out. They'll come to you offering the promotion, the raise, the power, because you made them move first. That's how you win. Let's talk about social dynamics, because this law isn't just for work. It's for every interaction. You don't chase after friends, allies, or enemies. You make them come to you. You don't beg for their respect, their loyalty, their fear. You make them feel the need to earn it. How? You set the bait. You show them a glimpse of your strength, your charisma, your untouchable aura, and then you pull back. You let them feel the void, the hunger, the need to be in your circle. They'll come running because people always want what's scarce, what's hard to get, what's worth fighting for. And you're going to make sure you're worth fighting for. Let's talk about the long-term game again, because I want to make sure you're thinking big. Law 8 isn't just about winning today. It's about winning forever. You need to build a system where you're always the one in demand, always the one they seek, always the one they fear losing. How do you do that? You create a legacy of power. You make yourself the one they can't ignore, the one they can't live without. Maybe you build a network of influence, a web of connections that everyone needs to tap into. Maybe you create a brand, a reputation, a myth that precedes you so they're always seeking you out. Maybe you control the game itself, setting the rules so they have to play on your terms. Whatever it is, you make sure the world knows. If they want to win, they have to come to you. Now, let's talk about the risks again, because I'm not letting you walk away without knowing the stakes. If you don't follow this law, if you're always the one chasing, always the one seeking, you're setting yourself up to fail. You're giving away your power, your control, your dignity. People will see you as weak, as desperate, as disposable. They'll use you, they'll manipulate you, they'll discard you the second they're done with you. That's not power. That's pathetic. Law 8 is your shield, your sword, your crown. You don't chase, you make them chase. You don't seek, you make them seek. You don't bow, you make them bow. That's the difference between a slave and a ruler. And you're here to be a ruler. Let's talk about the art of bait one more time, because I want to make sure you've got this down cold. Bait isn't just a trick, it's a mindset. You need to think like a predator, always one step ahead, always knowing what your prey wants, what they need, what they'll die for. You need to be strategic, calculating, ruthless. You need to know how to plant the seed of desire, how to make them feel the hunger, the need, the desperation. You need to know how to pull back, how to create distance, how to make them chase. You're the one who sets the trap, the one who controls the game, the one who wins. That's Law 8. That's power. That's domination. I could go on because this law is endless, but I want to make sure you're ready to take this and run with it. You've got the tools, you've got the mindset, you've got the fire. Now go out there and make them come to you. Make them crawl, make them beg, make them bow. You're not the one who chases. You're the one who reigns. That's Law 8, and that's your path to power. Before I let you go, let's talk about the Power Playbook. We're here to forge warriors, to break down every law of the 48 laws of power, and to give you the weapons to dominate. If Law 8 lit a fire in you, smash that like button to show me you're ready, and subscribe with the bell icon to join the ranks of the unstoppable. We're building an army of power players, and you're in or you're out. Check out our playlist for more laws in the description below.